One of the most confusing things you will come across in your development is the paradox of detachment. How are you supposed to care enough to where you're motivated to get out there and become your best self, achieve your goals, but you can't care too much because then that's being over-attached and you actually push away the thing, the person, what you want. So in this video, I want to have a conversation about that concept, detachment, and how it can change your life. Let's look at it from not just one area, but three. Detachment from yourself, detachment from the timelines of goals you have, and detachment from your performance. Now, if you're over-attached in any one of these three areas, your results are going to be way worse, not better, and life is going to be literally 10 times harder for you. I promise, as someone who's a chronic over-attacher, once I started loosening up, life got more fun, you get your confidence back, you get your energy back, and things seem to take less effort. Let's first define what the heck we're talking about. Most people go wrong. When they hear the word detachment, we get it confused with numbing out. Can't pay the bills, who cares, I'm detached. Wife left me, I'm detached, who cares? Don't get the concept of detachment confused with feeling apathetic and feeling nothing for anything. Detachment is being selective of what you're choosing to care about. But in the same way, too many calories get stored as fat. Excess energy stores in you literally as fat. Excess importance or caring gets stored in you as anxiety, as nerves. The reason we're drained is because we're processing so much of like, how does that sound? How do they like me? How am I looking? And that literally takes energy away from you. Your brain literally consumes 20% of your calories. That's what I've learned, is when I'm caring way too much about things, it blocks that flow state. It blocks that true you from coming out. I've used this analogy in the past, but it really sets it up. You have a phone right now, okay? And if you just toss it up, like if you're bored sitting there, you can do this all day long, can't you? You know, you might even give it a little spin, you might do it one-handed, etc. That's your ability to toss your phone. It's easy. You don't think about it and you don't doubt yourself, can I toss this phone? No, you just do it. But what if we make one simple change? Okay, this is the only change we're doing with you. You go up to like the 5th story in a mall and you hold your phone over the ledge, all the way down you can see, and you just give it a little toss like that, like just a little bit. Same exact scenario as you were doing earlier where you got all fancy with the moves, but because the importance changed, because you have so much attachment to not dropping your phone, it causes your body to respond completely differently and you get in your head and you might actually mess it up. You have to understand that life works the exact same way, is that we place all this mental importance around goals or people or outcomes. And it's the equivalent of us having the potential to do something just like this. This is the ease, the effortlessness of life that you can operate with. And then we get in our head and we act as if we're living life metaphorically here over that 5th story balcony. And the secret is not numbing out. The secret is having the appropriate amount of detachment. So I hope that's clear. That's a little bit about detachment, what it is and what it's not. But let's first look at where it messes you up and the common pitfalls of the first area. If you're looking to apply everything we talk about in these videos to change your life, check out our coaching program, Metamorphic, where it's possible to reinvent yourself in under 10 weeks. We walk you step by step on how to do that by shifting your identity. It's a full 10-week program, unreleased content, one-on-one shadow work sessions, interactive live calls, and a full badass community of 850 people in your corner to help. So if you're ready for a change, check out the link in the bio and start your journey today. So the first area is detaching from your self-image. You're not wrong if you want people to view you a certain way. That is completely normal in human nature. But here's how caring about your image so much can mess you up. If you're over-attached to a date, that causes you to perform worse, not better. You go in your head thinking, you know, this is my one thing, I can't mess it up. You hear terms like, they have to be the one. I got a big date tonight. Those are all signs that we're caring too much about the thing. In fact, my girlfriend, little embarrassing story, but like I was going through this weird influencer cringe phase. I met her and I was trying to do this like performance and come off a certain way. And she tells me now, like, dude, I almost didn't go on a second date with you. Why is he posing like that? Why is he talking like that? And it was only as soon as I relaxed and was able to like chill down a bit. You know, we got the second, third, fourth date, etc. Oh, that's the real you. I actually like that person. And so I tell that story because that's a very, very true point here. When we're caring about how we're coming across, we're making the whole thing about us. I remember once there was a member in our coaching program who was a new coach, and he was talking about how he gets so nervous coaching others. Oh, I don't like how I'm sounding. I don't like how I look. You know, I can talk about this off camera, but as soon as the camera's there, like I freeze up. Totally get it. I've had that many times in my life. I gave him some brutal advice. I said, who are you trying to serve? Is it you or is it other people? Because what I just heard, you're making the entire thing about you. And if your goal is service or reaching people or connecting, is the thing actually about you? No, people are caring about like what's in it for me. So when you detach from how you're looking or sounding, you're able to relax more. And in that relaxed state is the truer version of you, which is very appealing. And I'm willing to bet is more likable than the mask, the facade that we all put on and fall into, isn't it? This is very common to have a ton of attachment to, and it will mess you up. I have to be a millionaire by 30. I have to get married by age 35 with kids. I have to be at X stage in my career by X age. Like we always associate goals with a timeline, and that's okay for some goals, and that can be useful. But where I find it really messes us up is when it has to be a certain way, that also brings a lot of pressure. Now, there's a common saying in motivational spaces, you know, pressure creates diamonds. It's a testosterone fueled rant and the motivational speakers like screaming at you on a TikTok. Pressure creates diamonds. If you're under pressure, that's good. It's true, pressure does create diamonds, but it also collapses bridges. Pressure can also cause you to think short term instead of long term. And most of the goals you set are for the long term and not the short term. So if you're finding yourself under a ton of pressure, that's a good indicator that you have a lot of attachment to your timelines of when things have to be, how things have to be. And again, you're not alone. You're not crazy for this. This is completely normal and human. In fact, I struggled with this. This was like my biggest one throughout my 20s. I said I wanted to have a business and, you know, be financially free by the time I was 30. But I also said I wanted to be a rock star. Like growing up, that was my one dream, was to tour in a band, play Warped Tour, get to live in a tour bus, play international shows. I would sit down at my drum kit and play for like, 8 hours a day thinking, okay, that's going to be my dream. And the timeline I'd set for myself is in my 20s, I'm going to tour professionally. I have to do it. Well, I went to college and still wasn't in bands. I was still doing everything I can, but bands can get flaky or dealing with a lot of people and guys and timelines and everything like that. So didn't have a band and came out of college and I was like, you know what? Maybe this dream just didn't work out for me. Maybe I'm just going to be the 70, 80-year-old guy looking back, regretting not being able to tour in a band. And it really hurt. But in that time, I started this business. Okay, I started making some YouTube videos and I started getting this thing off the ground. Now, here's the freaky thing about timelines. My timeline was I'm going to tour in a band and then I'm going to have a business that's really successful. But here's what happened. After I started building this business, one of my old drum covers got seen by a band. And they called me up and they're like, dude, are you in LA? Fly down here. We need a drummer. I couldn't believe it. And the rest is history. I got to go all around the world playing sold out shows and festivals and touring with one of my favorite bands from childhood. So I got to achieve the dream I wanted. But the best part is that the timeline was even better than I could have imagined, because now I had the business that I could run in the background while on tour. So every failure of a goal you've had, maybe that was a good thing. And I guarantee you can look back on your life and say like, dude, I really wanted that outcome and I was really attached to it. But now I can see how not getting it was actually a benefit to me, because it allowed me to go after what I really wanted, or, not that person I was so heartbroken over and I was super attached to. That is the outcome. It has to be that person or that timeline. Now, after splitting and, 5 years removed, I can look back and be thankful because I found better relationships. Yes, you have a timeline, but I believe God, the universe, has a different timeline for you. And sometimes you not getting the thing is actually a good thing, because it might be on a better timeline than you could have even imagined. Here is the last area that we need to talk about. This one's very important. It might be the most important one. This area is detaching over your performance. There might be a part of you when you hear the concept of detachment or not caring that sort of wants to resist and fight it. The excuses we have, I need to prepare, I want things to go well, I want to anticipate mistakes so I don't make them. Understand that most of these are rationalizations and they don't actually make you perform better. Most people just want confidence. Everyone says, oh, I just want to be confident and then I can trust myself. But you know what the root word of confidence is? It means intense trust. Like when you really trust yourself, you're detached. When you really trust your abilities, you're not overthinking. When you really trust that life is going to work out for you, that is when you can tap into detachment. Yeah, you're gonna be in a relationship and there's a very real possibility that if you put yourself out there and you're completely vulnerable, you can get your heart broken. And that'll hurt way more than if you're kind of guarded, right? But you have the intense trust in yourself that things will work out. And if it's not that person, it's not meant to be, you'll find one that is. Over-attachment is a control issue. I know you want to control things because you think if I can control it, it will be better because I have the steering wheel, I can control it, I have my destiny in my own hands. The moment you try to control life in people, you actually push it away. And so much of your life is uncontrollable. It requires trust. The best things in life require trust. Take a relationship. Do you want to be in a relationship with someone who's controlling? Isn't that one of the biggest reasons people leave? Oh, he was smothering. He was controlling every single thing I did. And what do people say when they have a controlling relationship? I wish you trusted me more. So if you want to start tapping into this detached place of where you care, but you don't care too much, you need to start trusting yourself more. So to recap the key points here for you, when you're over attached, that gets you worse results, not better. You end up placing too much importance on an outcome. And just like excess energy is stored as fat on you, excess importance around caring too much is stored in your body as anxiety. So the solution is not to stop caring altogether. It's to have the appropriate amount of detachment, which allows you to tap into your true confidence and trust yourself. You can detach from your image, you can detach from controlling outcomes, and you can detach from timelines. If you want a deep dive on like actually how to do this, I'll link down below our Metamorphic program. We spend all of week 3 going over just this. What do you do when you care too much? Like, how do I reprogram my subconscious mind towards what I want instead of just like baggage from my last 20 years that I'm carrying with me? You get to work one-on-one with the coach. It's really cool. Shadow work and all that. That's in the link below. Again, no pressure, but if you're a fan of the channel and what we talk about here, I know like this is the next step for you. Speaking of next steps, a lot of detachment goes hand in hand with letting go. Letting go can be a how-to in itself. So I'll link up right here a perfect follow-up video on letting go. Thanks so much for being here. See you in the next one. Stop settling, start living, start detaching. See ya.